Hey everybody, I am going to show you how to upload a asset to a client instance and make it augmented reality. So first you need to find the correct client. And if you don't have a client in here that you need, there's another video on how to create a client instance, but we're going to pretend you already have the client instance. In this case, Pearson Packaging is the one I want. You're going to click on View Details and then Log In. This client doesn't have any assets yet, so I can click on Upload Model. I need to give this product a name. In this case, it is the CE25. We need to give it a description. The portal is now not currently active for our clients, but it will be. And it's going to be a repository of all their assets. So we want to have a good description for everything so they know what's what. So I've already created a little summary here that I'm going to use for this product. And that's one of those things where you can just ask ChatGPT to go to a client product page, create you a 250 word or less little description, and just put it here. Next, I need to upload a GLB. So I'm going to drop it in this window and I'm going to click Upload Model. So it will take a moment as it is processing it on the server. And bam, here it is. So this is the client instance. If they have multiple products here, they will show up. Currently, they just have one. You're going to see this card here that you can click in on, but you can see there's no animation here. That is just to keep it light because when you have a lot of models here, it can get a little heavy. So when you click into it, it is going to have the animation and you can see it here. By default, this is just a viewer. A viewer for this asset. You can see that description that we put in is right there. You have to do something with it. It just doesn't do it on its own. And you can do that by hitting Create AR. There's this blue button here, Create AR. And you're going to be taken to another little panel. You're going to need a USDZ file. So on Android, it uses the GLB. On Android, it uses the GLB. On Apple, it uses the USDZ. I do have that file prepared. I'm going to drop it there. I'm going to enter the company name. This is so, sometimes we have clients that they make, they have other clients they're doing stuff for. So in my mind, like MES Fire has different brands that they do different ones for. So we have it where you have to enter it again just in case there's a use case where it's a different client than the one it's under. So in this case, it's going to be Pearson Packaging Systems. We have the product name, and then you need a short tagline. This is another one that you can use GPT for. My GPT is down currently, but I am going to use this little bit right here. It is a compact, rugged, automatic box former. And so I'm going to use that. So this is going to appear underneath the product name, and I'm going to camel case this, or at least capitalize the first letter of the word, or of the sentence here. Aside from that, we also need a product URL. So in the augmented reality, there is going to be a place where they can click on to get more information, and we have to direct them someplace. And so this product does have a landing page, and I'm going to use that web address. If it didn't have a landing page, I would just use the company's website in general. So I'm going to drop that there. Company tagline, we don't necessarily need, but you can put it in. I'm going to recommend leaving it blank. It's just kind of there if we need it in the future. Company logo, what you can do is, instead of having the text written out, Pearson Packaging Systems, you can actually use their logo. So let's give that a shot. I am going to go ahead and use a Pearson logo that I've already downloaded. And next I'm going to go to Model Viewer. And this is a preview of what it's going to look like on a phone. So obviously we're a little too close in, and we have to adjust these sliders for it to look correct. Azimuth is the rotation that the product first is seen at. It's hard to tell now because we're so zoomed in. Same thing with polar. So we're going to start with the radius. The first radius you see is going to be the default zoom distance. And so every time you adjust one of the settings, you're gonna come back to a default position. So here you can see, now I can see the product. Polar, that is going to adjust the tilt. So I can either look down at it, I can look up at it. I usually like to be somewhere just pretty neutral looking at the product. In this case, I could probably be a little bit down at it like that. Azimuth is the rotation. Honestly, it was pretty much great where it was at 45 degrees, so I'm just going to type that back in. Max radius, that is how far away can you get from it. Obviously, we don't need to be that far away. I think just from experience, we're probably going to be around 14 would be the maximum we want to be. So if I use my scroll, my scroll wheel on the mouse, you can see I can zoom out. My minimum radius is going to be how close you can zoom in. And if you ever forget any of this, there's actually tooltips. I think from experience, this is going to be probably about 2. But these values are going to change depending on what the product is. And you can see that's pretty good. You just don't want to be inside of anything when you zoom in, right? So my value of 2 is pretty good. Vertical position, so you can slide this thing up and down on screen. Generally speaking, you want it to be pretty much in the middle. It can differ for really tall objects. So this is the cell phone view. If you go to the desktop view, you've got different settings for desktop and mobile. You can copy the settings from mobile and it'll get you pretty close. Here you can see what it would look like here. I might move it down just a little bit here. And then I'm going to hit Save AR Configuration. Okay, so what's different? We're still back at the card for the product. So if I go inside, here I am. But now you can see I've got a QR code box here. And so you'll have a couple different options. You can download the offline files. We're trying to keep everybody on ShowPro, but if the client insists on hosting this locally, you can provide the AR files by downloading them here. You can also download the QR codes, so one with the frame and one without, just by clicking that. You can view the AR, which is actually the same link, just takes you to the same link as the shareable link here. So I want to go ahead and let's view this AR and we can see what it looks like. Here you can see we've got the logo, we've got the name of the product, we've got compact, rugged, automatic box former. Learn more takes you to the website. You of course should rotate around, check it out, make sure it's all good. It does look good to me. The thing you should check though is how it looks on mobile. So you'll want to scan this, make sure that it looks equally awesome on mobile. And then from there, you're going to be off to the races. If you do need to make any changes, you can go back to Edit AR, and you'll be able to go through all the same screens. So if you need to edit the logo to be bigger, smaller, do something, you can do it here. You can update the tagline, all of that. You can also update the model viewer if you need to. Everything was good for me, so I'm just going to cancel here. If there was a problem with the model, so I see a problem, I'm willing to bet this surround should be the same color as this. You can upload a new version of this model and it will retain all of the camera and base setup that you had before. It even will keep the same QR code. And you would upload a new version by going create new version. You're going to describe what has changed in this version, give it a new GLB, a new USDZ file, and it will just replace it, and it will create a new version that it will default to, and Yeah, should be awesome. And you'll be able to click between versions here just so you can see the different versions. All right, guys, that is it for this, and I'll see you in the next one.